Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into the weeds with customizing protocols around a specific compound. Ginkgo Biloba Extract, GBE. Our whole mission here is to go beyond just, listing benefits. We want to find those combinations, those partners that create real synergy, like where 1 + 1 is definitely more than 2. So let's start with the basics, the core ingredient itself.
Right. And what's really fascinating, I think, is that before synergy even comes into play, you absolutely have to nail the quality aspect. With GBE, sourcing is everything. Safety, efficacy. It all hinges on using rigorously standardized extracts. You really need to be aware of and actively avoid the risk of Ginkgotoxin. That's the stuff of the raw seeds, and it's been directly linked to pretty serious adverse events, like seizures even.
Seizures, wow.
Yeah, so that's why you absolutely need the clinically studied form, which is EGB 761. That's the one with the research behind it.
Got it. So EGB 761, that specific gold standard extract, standardized to 24% flavone glycosides and 6% terpene lactones. That's what we're looking for. So assuming we have that high-quality GBE, what makes it such a good candidate for stacking? The sources seem to point to 3 core areas of action.
Yeah, it's kind of a triple threat combination, you could say.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, GBE improves circulation. It acts as a really potent vasomodulator, boosting cerebral blood flow, or CBF, but at the same time, it's also protecting the system. It has significant antioxidant and neuroprotective properties. And then, maybe most interestingly for stacking, it influences neurotransmission. It actually increases the release of key players like dopamine and acetylcholine.
Okay, those 3 pillars, vasomodulation, neuroprotection, and neurotransmitter boost, make sense as a foundation for synergy. So let's dive into the stats with the strongest evidence. First up is what the research calls pharmacodynamic synergy. This is where the partner directly amps up GBE's own actions, right?
Exactly, and the classic example here is GBE plus Panax ginseng. You often see this marketed as a Ginkgotoxin model.
Ginkgotoxin, right. And the results.
Oh, the clinical data is fantastic. They ran studies on healthy volunteers and found a really significant average improvement of 7.5% in something called the index of memory quality. But what's really striking, I think, is that this wasn't just a temporary boost. The benefit actually held up even after the participants stopped taking it for 2 whole weeks, a washout period.
Wait, hold on. A 2-week sustained benefit after stopping, that's huge. Does that mean this combo is actually building something lasting, like better cognitive infrastructure? Or is it more like a long echo effect?
It certainly suggests something deeper than just a fleeting chemical boost, doesn't it? The thinking is GBE provides that immediate improvement in blood flow, the perfusion, and then ginseng comes in, adding support for working memory and, interestingly, a sense of calmness. So they're tackling different aspects at the same time.
Different angles, same goal. Okay.
But synergy isn't just about direct enhancement. We can also look at pathway complementarity. This is more about managing other factors, systemic things that can actually limit GBE's effectiveness.
Ah, so dealing with the roadblocks.
Precisely. And this brings us to a really interesting pairing. GBE plus ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha. Okay, so we're shifting gears from direct brain boost to maybe stress management.
Exactly right. Think about chronic stress. It translates pretty directly into elevated cortisol levels. And high cortisol actively messes with memory function. It impairs it. Ashwagandha, particularly standardized extracts like KSM-66, is known to help modulate the HPA axis, the body's stress response system. So if you put it all together, GBE is working on optimizing your immediate brain resources, the blood flow, the acetylcholine release, while ashwagandha provides this kind of protective shield against the cognitive damage caused by chronic stress.
That makes a lot of sense. Optimizing the now and protecting the future. Sort of. Okay, but now we're combining things that affect blood flow and hormones. That feels like it ramps up the safety considerations quite a bit.
Absolutely. Clinical due diligence becomes even more critical here because the risks don't just add up, they can compound. For GBE, the main flag is its antiplatelet effect. It can significantly increase bleeding risk, especially if someone is already taking prescription anticoagulants, things like warfarin. You have to be really careful there. And it also has known interactions with certain anti-seizure medications.
Okay, anticoagulants and anti-seizure meds for GBE. What about ashwagandha?
Ashwagandha brings its own set of hormonal considerations. It can actually increase thyroid hormone levels, TSH, T3, T4. So if you combine it with thyroid hormone medications, you could potentially push someone into hyperthyroidism. That's a serious risk. And another one is its potential interaction with sedatives. It can really amplify their effects, leading to excessive drowsiness or sedation.
Right, those are crucial warnings. Thanks for highlighting those. Let's shift, though, to practical application for a sec. For someone listening wanting to try integrating both GBE and ashwagandha, they absorb differently, don't they? How do you actually time this for best effect?
That's a really practical and important point. You can't just toss them back together and hope for the best. Planning is key. We know GBE absorption tends to be better when it's taken with a meal. Food helps. Ashwagandha, on the other hand, its main active compounds, the withanolides, they're fat-soluble, highly fat-soluble. So to really optimize their uptake, you ideally want to take ashwagandha with some fat, maybe in a fatty liquid like milk, or what's often recommended is taking alongside black pepper extract, piperine. That enhances bioavailability.
Okay, so GBE with food, ashwagandha maybe with piperine or some fat. Requires a bit of thought to schedule that, right?
It does, but it ensures you're actually getting the benefit from both components you're investing in.
Makes sense. Detail matters. All right, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listener with maybe one final idea, something about building that long-term resilience.
Okay, here's something to think about. Complementing GBE's immediate circulatory benefits with more foundational systemic support. Think B vitamins, specifically B6, B12, and folate.
B vitamins, how do they fit in?
Well, think of it like this. GBE is great at improving the existing microvascular flow, making the current system work better right now. B vitamins, particularly that B6, B12, folate trio, they work on a different level. They help lower homocysteine.
Homocysteine, the inflammatory marker linked to vascular issues.
Exactly. High homocysteine is known to degrade the vascular system over the long haul. So while GBE boosts circulation now, these B vitamins help protect the integrity of those blood vessels long term. By combining GBE's immediate action with the B vitamin's systemic protection against homocysteine, you're not just getting a temporary boost, you're actually working towards sustained holistic neurovascular maintenance. You're protecting the infrastructure that GDE enhances.
Fascinating. So improve the flow now, but also protect the pipes for the future. Really holistic view. Lots to consider there.